Hi, folks. Welcome back to the Seven Rivers Racing Show here in KQEG TV. I am the lightly tanned Dan Dyker. Alongside of me, the white ghost of Al Losi. Welcome into the program as we keep wheeling on through past the halfway mark at the La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway and Dells Raceway Park. Mississippi Thunder was rained out last Friday. That was a mid-afternoon rain out. Of course, when you wash out a dirt track with the rains we've had here in the past week or so, not much you can do to save it.
No, not at all. And they made the right call.
Looking at what's going on in western Wisconsin, things are heating up not only temperature-wise. Man, it was blistering last weekend at the racetrack. La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway was hot, but first and foremost, it was quite hot at the go-kart track Sunday.
It definitely was, and I got to say, it's awfully nice having you back at the go-kart track.
Well, I tell you, I missed those kids out there. I was going to do the announcing in Toma this year, and those things kind of fell by the wayside, and went back out and secured the job in the Cooley Go-Kart Raceway. I love those kids out there, love all the parents, and love the fans, and what a nice job they put on. Had a really nice set of races. We were in the blazing sun for 4 hours on Sunday, and had some really good features. The adult sportsman class, 12 cars in the feature.
They're definitely getting some good quality drivers too in that division. I know it's a lot of fun for us to watch, and with that kind of heat, it's always nice to have a little bit of ice cream too, isn't it?
Well, I know Bad Brad Worthen got into one of the Losi karts. They had the go-kart tryouts after the races Sunday.
Yes. Well, Brad, he's going to actually get into it a little later. What happened was a chain broke just after the race, so he ended up not being able to get out there. But Brad's going to get into one of the animal karts, and he's going to have a lot of fun.
A lot of Band-Aids, lots of duct tape, some fiberglass. Bad Brad Worthen gets himself into was. Looking at what happened at La Crosse Fairgrounds Speedway last week, and of course we had very exciting twin 20-lap features, and we had a lot of at-the-line calls in many of the races, the late models and the sportsmen. We're going to show you a video right off the bat. This is going to be from the very first 20-lap feature event from the Quick Trip NASCAR late models. It was nice to see Tim Schendel back. He was karting the Johnny's Hobby 66 of Steve Carlson. Steve had a pinched nerve in his back. And you're going to watch Schendel and Todd Korish chase each other all the way through this one here. And this was about the time of the track was starting to settle down heat-wise. And we're going to try to talk about that in our second segment of the program. Todd Korish was hammered down, Mr. Consistent, just didn't have enough asphalt space to make up. And race number one with 26 cars that it went to Jay Herbst, followed by Todd Korish, Tim Schendel, Tony Bagstad, Brent Kirchner. The rest of the top 10, Mike Carlson, Cole Hovland, Jess Tenner, Tim Nelson, and Sean Paff. Now, that finishing order was very important looking at the point standings. Herbst wins the race, and Sean Paff picks up 10th place. Now, as we go to the video of the second 20-lap feature, the finishing order was big once again. The lights, the sun goes down, the lights come up. Brent Kirchner wins his third feature race out of the past 4 weeks. Thought he was out of the points race, said, hey, I don't care about the points, as you see Todd Oliver spin out down there in the front straightaway. That brought out a very interesting caution, because just when you thought Kirchner was going to run away with this, here comes Tim Schendel right behind him in Steve Carlson's car.
Yeah, so you've got a very good driver in Schendel, and you've got very good equipment with what the Weirs put together. Not only that, they had to line up side by side to start this race. Kirchner was very fortunate to get a very good start on that.
Tim Nelson did a nice job in this race, finishing third. He has been outstanding this year so far. Cole Hovland, Jess Tenner, Mike Carlson, Todd Korish, Jay Herbst, and Sean Paff round out the top 10 as Brent Kirchner, the City Auto Sales number 8, gets the win right there. Again, more importantly, Jay Herbst finished in front of Sean Paff and now has a 15-point swing. And I talked to Sean Paff on Sunday at the go-kart track. He's not happy. He is not happy in the way that car performed on Sunday. He didn't leave it to any track member or crew member or part of a car, just stated overall, I was not happy, and he gave up a 20-point swing on those two races alone.
And Sean is a good driver, and I got to think that there was something just a little bit off, because normally he's running up front. He's just taking the blame and putting it all on himself, because he knows that he can do something to make that thing better. I expect to see him up there.
Brad Powell qualified fastest in Matt Henderson's backup car. Heat 1 went to Michael Sauter. Heat number 2, Jay Herbst. Tony Bankstad took the 6-for-6 dash. And the point standings, Jay Herbst leaves Sean Paff by 15. Todd Korish, Brent Kirchner, Matt Henderson round out the top 5. 2 rookies in the class this year. inside the top 10, showing you how this racing has gone this year. Nick Clements is currently 7th, and Michael Sauter is now creeped inside the top 10. Of course, Sauter's still looking for his first feature win on the season. North Country Contractor Sportsman feature event. A lot of the heat races went down to the wire. We'll show you those later on in the program. First off, Greg Scheck and the Rusty Wallace painted number 2. Had a nice little dogfight going on with Danny Gilster, Jake Arneson, Jimmy Gilster, and Randy Humfeld. Look at how this one finished. Any of these cars, as we've seen people hit the outside groove and get that last lap pass, could have done this right here. Scheck was really holding his own.
He was, and he's got so darn much experience that he knew how to make his rear end a little wider. And that really makes a difference when you've got the grooves going on a night like Saturday night.
Jake Arneson putting the nose in there a couple of times. Jake Arneson has to be one of the most impressive North Country Contractor Sportsman drivers we've had. You can see that he almost loses it right here. Look at that tail end just swing and swing and swing. Still holding on. Danny Gilster takes advantage and finishes second. What an outstanding race that was right there. And I didn't get a chance to talk to Jake afterwards, but I know he could kick himself for that one right there because I think it was just a little bit too much throttle.
And I think Gilster was probably having a little fun there too, wondering where is that car going.
And that's got to be something else is when it's the last corner, and we're going to talk to our guest about this today as well that drives a Sportsman car. That back end starts to swing a little bit, and you're running third that close. You're thinking, oh, man, here we go.
And you got to worry so much about overcorrecting, too, because that could bring the rear end back around, and you can take out a few cars. It was just kind of fun watching that. I bet from your perch, you really had a good view.
On a hot night, the voice was starting to trickle down. Fast timer was Randy Humfeld, quickest car out there for the past 3 years flat. Matt Englert won Heat 1, Rob Mason won Heat 2, Greg Scheck also took the 6-for-6 dash. When we come back, we're going to show you what happened with the United Auto Supply Thunderstocks, and our guest drives the Great Pumpkin, the number 13 North Country Contractor Sportsman, Mark Chalet, is going to be joining us in the program here on the other side of this break. Al Losey, Dan Dyker, Mark Chalet. We'll be right back. Seven Rivers Racing here on KQEG TV.